You know what I want to talk about? Gym etiquette.
You just hate women.
No. Okay. All right. In general, it doesn't even matter how many benches there are. I feel like you just shouldn't be doing hip thrusts on benches. But like, especially if the gym only has 3 benches, and like you already know that's like a main exercise.
Yeah, use it properly.
It's just what I'm not like mad about the hip thrust. It's like, why would you? There's so many other places you could do the hip thrust.
The boxes.
Yeah, like why are you using up the bench? Like people are trying to bench. You know what I mean? Like you do not have any common sense to freaking do the exercise that isn't meant to be on that exercise somewhere else, or at least do it on an exercise that's not as popular. Because the bench press is like, dude, that's like one of the king of the exercise. You know what I mean?
Okay, so what do you do if you're in that situation and you see, and I feel like what you're trying to say without saying is a female is on the bench trying to do a hip thrust. Like, do you go and tell her, be like, hey, you're a little amateur and you don't know the etiquette of gym. What do you do in that kind of situation?
No, I don't think it's an amateur.
You just watch and stare.
No, I don't think it's like amateur or anything. I think it's just like lack of common sense. Or I think like women don't.
Whoa.
It's always women.
Before you finish that sentence.
No, it's always you never see a guy doing like hip thrusts on a bench though. You know what I mean?
What if she's only doing like 15 reps? Is that okay still, or no? Not okay.
No, it's not about the reps. It's about like, why would you take it up? Like, cause now comes like.
Yeah, but how is she gonna learn if you don't tell her?
Frick. You know, it's just kind of rude. I just feel like it's also it's also kind of rude. I feel like it's rude to go up to like, hey, you know, like it's kind of like. How are you supposed to bring that up to a like, you know?
You don't be that guy in the gym is like, you're not using this equipment properly.
Yeah,
like
so
I can use it.
I'm not like dogging on anybody. I'm just saying like, I don't want to be rude. I don't want to tell you because like I just feel like it's a little mean. Like, but at the same time I feel like you're kind of dumb because I shouldn't have to tell you.
Okay, wait, but to be like fair, you do the same thing because, for example, like you'll be working out. Okay, and then there will be like some of us, and then we'll all be standing around a bench and no one's working out because we're all just talking.
No, that's called rest.
No. If there's like 3
double
of us,
standard,
or like
it's us versus you.
No.
There's like we're 3 plus. Like we're not all. We don't all have to rest at the same time.
No. Wait, when do we do this? Like at the bench press?
Oh boy, you don't even see it.
When do we not use the equipment that we're on? We don't do that
often.
I'm gonna need some proof.
We do that.
We don't.
We hella do that.
Do we do that?
We do that.
Okay, give me an example. Like,
you know how many times I've had to yell at you guys like, yo, Izzy, or like, yo, Ray, or like, yo, Howie, like, someone's got to go next. Like, we're not using the bench. Like, someone's got to go, and everyone's just talking.
Oh, that's what
and
you
no
mean?
one's actually working out at the time.
See, that's different than like what I was saying because we're still using the bench though. We're resting and we might be like having a conversation and having a good time.
Yeah, but other people are gonna see it as a waste of a bench if no one's using it.
You know why it's not a waste of a bench? Because there's like 5 to 6 of us using one bench. If it's
we take up so much.
You know what I mean?
Space. That's our fault in gym etiquette. We take up a lot of space. But at least we do get work done though.
It's not our fault that we have a big group, but like we're already sharing one bench usually. Only recently we started using 2 benches. But like when I see someone waiting, I mean you guys know whenever I see someone waiting, I'm like, hey. Are you guys waiting for the bench? I'll give them the bench if we're taking up 2 benches, and I'll just move over. That's what I did last time. So we don't do that. Like when we do speak, when we're talking and stuff, like having a good time, like people might be like, oh, they're not using it. Like, dude, we're literally all resting. We lift heavy as fuck, you know what I mean? So like we need that rest. Like they don't understand. I mean, most people like they don't lift that much.
But the difference is that you guys know what to do. You guys know what exercise to do, the proper form to get results.
And we're using the equipment for what it's meant for.
It's not like you're like 5 or 6
the one thing that gets me is when I see someone using an incline bench in like the flat position and like doing like Bulgarians or doing like flat bench press or just sitting on it. And then there's like empty flat benches next to them. Like you're taking the one incline that we have and not even using it for the incline part.
Yeah, I hate that.
That actually irks me.
Frick,
that's
it's
one
irritating, yeah.
I think we indirectly do that to people too. Like when we approach people at the gym that are already doing their workout, and then we have a full blown conversation with them, we don't see it as, oh, we're not on the machine, so we're not taking up anybody's time. But when we're talking to people, that person's taking up the machine's time, and then indirectly we're keeping the person that's waiting for the machine, keeping them longer waiting. You know what I mean? So
I mean, yes, but it's just, I mean, the point is like not using the intended exercises for that equipment. That's what I'm trying to say. That to me is just wrong.
So even if the chick is like, she has the fattest ass ever, and she knows what to do.
Does that matter?
Really? Hey, she's getting work done.
Does the looks matter?
I mean, if she's really G, you don't care. But
And the truth comes out.
but then I mean, you would still be a little irritated though, because it's a waste of your time.
I don't know. Would you?
So if they know what they're doing, but they're doing hip thrusts on the bench,
Yeah.
but they're hot,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still gonna be a little bit like, fuck, like why the hell is she using it? But I'm gonna be a little bit like more like, you know what, she's G, whatever.
Well, okay, I think to at least answer your question prior of how to tell someone, I think maybe like this podcast in one way that we can help educate someone, right? Because now we're talking about gym etiquette. And so now the topic's brought up, maybe it'll come into someone's mind now and say, hey, maybe I'll look for a different alternative instead so that I don't use up that bench specifically for,
I
chest
hope those
presses and
4
things
people
like
that do hip thrusters at our gym see this video and like, maybe I won't do hip thrusters on the bench.
It's not just,
It's like 4 or 5 people that I see always doing that.
and I don't want you guys to think it's just the hip thrust on the benches. It's like what you said earlier, like
the
using
incline, yeah.
if there's other like places you can do that exercise instead of take up a main piece of equipment that most people could use for something else. Like that's the main point, like kind of like that flat incline that you're talking about. That's we only have one. Why are you?
We have one good one.
We have one good one, and then we have a broken. That like other one that no one uses, like the fat one with the leg thingy.
Oh no.
Yeah, like you can do the Bulgarians and all that shit on that. But why are you taking up like a main bench? It's just irritating. Waste of time.
What about old people, bro? What about old people that don't know how to exercise and they're just doing their own shit?
I rarely see that at UFC, but I'm sure at like YMCA you might see that. Yeah.
Dude, I think the old people at UFC are ripped. Some of them are like old and they're like they look like they've been working out for a while.
Are they natty?
Maybe they have forbidden pre. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're not natty, but maybe they have forbidden pre.
But yeah. So yeah, that's the one thing for gym etiquette that I think most people can agree that they don't like.
So that's your number one gym pet peeve, and then Chris's pet peeve is the incline, like specifically the incline.
Oh, like that scenario, yeah. In that scenario.
Okay, Ty, what is your number one pet peeve at the gym?
I would say my number one pet peeve is when there's like 7 to 8 high schoolers who come in and use one machine that you really want, the pec deck fly, whatever, the bench, and they're going for like maybe 4 reps off of 20 pounds, and then they just keep rotating. So that's just my thing. When there's a whole bunch of inexperienced high schoolers, I mean, it's good that they're starting, but
It like is
it's
it
kind of like the same thing.
is it irritating that like they're just all together and they're loud, or is because that's what we do?
No, we're like the loudest in the gym.
Yeah, I mean, you worked out with us one time.
Yeah.